the bottom, and very close to the very bottom, I found this and couldn't believe it. All right, well, we are starting off here at the flea market, and everything today is picked from the attic, basement, and the rest of the estate from a local city that I do really well in because there tend to be lots of collectibles. And this is what I came across first, are all these Mad and Cracked magazines, and some other miscellaneous ones too, like Animal World, coloring book. Let's see if this one's colored in. It's, well, one page is colored in, so one page, that's okay. Let's see what else here. It looks like we have another Mad. I have so many Mad magazines and Cracked magazines. This one's really cool because it has like an imitation Godzilla on the front of it, so I really love that. Some other monsters, 1981, 1970s. So, oh, and a Jaws cover on Cracked. So Cracked and Mad. Again, I just stack them up and I sort them by years. I have so many of them, and I just wait until I build up a nice big lot and then sell them off. So we are going to start with these. It's a nice double tap to start the day, and we'll see what else this estate brings us. All right, so I had gone through this entire stack of records here, and as usual, didn't find much. They're really pretty beaten up, and a lot of them don't even match up to what's supposed to be inside. But when I came across the bottom of this stack, so I took what was here and just moved it over to here, at the bottom and very close to the very bottom, I found this and couldn't believe it. This is a Weird Al Yankovic record, and I remember him very fondly from when I was younger when the song Eat It came out to parody Michael Jackson's Beat It. So that was a pretty funny one. Then he really got in trouble with Coolio when he did the song Amish Paradise instead of Gangster Paradise. But this is a cool record. So I've seen this record sell for 40 bucks. Right now the cheapest available on eBay is 60 bucks. And I've seen a first pressing of it sell for as high as very close to $100. I'm not sure if it's a first pressing yet. I have to research that. There's ways to kind of figure that out with each record. But it looks good inside as well. It's pretty well protected. And the good thing is, look at this, it still has, it's not sealed, but it has the original plastic wrap on it, which is good because it helped to protect it and not get the kind of damage that you see on so many of these other records. But I'll show you inside, it looks nice. All right, so here you can see this is the inner sleeve, and it looks really nice. And then this is the actual record here, which looks good too. It's got a little dust on it, but no significant scratches or anything on it. So just wipe that off, and we're all set. All right, so here's a pretty interesting item that I just dug out. Check this out. This is pretty unique. The people who lived in this house were into fishing, and so someone put this thing together. Now, you could see here it has the last name of the prior owners on here, and so that's a pretty easy thing to fix though. What I'm going to do is just apply a little bit of white paint over that section, and then I'm just going to advertise it as, you could put your own family's name here or whatever message that you want. So that's really easy to solve, and yeah, I'm definitely going to grab this. This is very interesting. It's just not something you could find every day. I love the little seagulls here too. That's a cute little touch. It's got the seashells on it and everything. Really, really neat piece, and it's very strong and sturdy. I love this. Anyone who loves, fishing and lives by the sea or whatever is going to love this. You got a little pirate here. Really cool. It's just missing a mermaid, but hey, not everything could be perfect. All right, now here is a great example of keeping your eye out for new niches in areas you haven't sourced in before. And of all the times I've gone sourcing, I could tell you I've never picked up a skateboard. I used to use a skateboard when I was younger, but they were much bigger than this. This is, a much thinner skateboard, and you can see here, it is definitely vintage. Now, there are some clues to age on it. You can see here it says ACS 430, so That refers to the truck here on the bottom. But if you look at the deck, you can see here it says Caliente 500. So Caliente meaning hot, heat, fire. And this is really cool. It's got this little, like, you know, fire demon guy on top. That's neat. This will look nice cleaned up. Just gotta figure a way to get some of these dark spots off, but still keep some of the nice, you know, vintage age to it. The cheapest I have seen any AC 430 skateboard go for is 50 bucks, and some of them go for hundreds of dollars. So I'm not sure what this one would go for. It looks like it's still, you know, working well with the wheels spin and everything really good. So I don't think we have a problem there. So I'm gonna pick this up and we'll see what we could do on it after I've done a little bit more research. But if you're into skating and you know anything else about this model, let me know in the comments section. Pretty cool. What a neat find. And not that bad to ship because it's pretty compact for a skateboard. All right, so the grand total for everything we got here today, all the magazines, the fishing decor, the vintage skateboard, and the Weird Al record, came to $30. So I'm very happy with that. I think we're going to do well with this lot. I'm looking forward to going back and cleaning this at PTHQ, seeing what we could do with it, and you know, just putting a little white paint on there, getting that ready. So I do enjoy the processing part. I like bringing these things back to life and giving them a new home. It's fun for me to do. These I'm just going to add to my collection, and I'll sell them at a later point, so you won't see those for sale right now, except the coloring book. I'll probably list that, and definitely I'll get that Weird Al record listed. All right, so we are here at another booth, and I saw these interesting solid brass cats. I mean, they're really strong and solid, and it's really cool that we have a pair of them, and I believe they are Siamese. Now, I have done very well with cat items on eBay. There's just such a big contingent of cat fans out there who will pick up almost anything cat related, and these are definitely vintage. Individually, I have seen these sell for about $70–$75, but to get them in a pair, the cheapest available right now on eBay is well over $200, and that has 13 watchers on it. So I'm gonna pick these up because I asked the vendor how much these are, and he said 12 bucks a piece. 12 bucks a piece. You could see originally they came from a Goodwill, but cannot miss at $24 on these. So this is gonna be a nice flip, and looking forward to picking these up right now. So I was walking back to the Primetime Treasure Mobile to drop off the cats, and I came across this Ford truck, and I had to show it to you because you know how much I love Ford stuff. Plus, I'm gonna love looking back at this one day. How cool is this? Look at these colors. They just really pop. Look at the orange on the wheels, the bright sign on the side. It's hand painted. It's got the old phone number on it. Just brings you back to a bygone era. My gosh. Look at the gas cap on the side sticking out. That is just so cool. I love this truck, and I just wanted to share it with you. All right, here's an interesting stack of magazines here and little booklets, and the ones that I came across that I'm interested in are these ones called Sword and Lance. And you can see they're military related. And what drew me to it is, one, that it looks vintage, two, that it's military, but three, that it's related to board games and war games. And I love stuff like that. And these appear to come from the 1970s. They don't come to market too often. I see one available right now for $13.99, but it's a different issue than this. But I could pick up all three for a great price here. So she said $2 each. So we have this one, which is number 10, and we have number 11, and then we have number 14. So I could probably get them 3 for $5. Would you do 3 for $5?
Sure.
All right, so 3 for $5. We'll pick them up. I love these. Really cool. All right, so I'm setting up the photos for the cats, and these are really gonna look cool on a white background once I process everything. I like how the two heads are next to one another right there, and you have the one tail there and the one tail there. It just really looks neat visually. But one of the things I wanted to point out is that the reason why having 2 of these cats more than doubles the amount of money that you can make if you just had 1 cat is because these cats are not identical. Because if you turn this cat this way, you could see it's not the same because you've got the back of the cat's head right there. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're out there. Some of these things are meant to come in pairs, and if you could get them like that, that's the best way. That's how you'll maximize your profit on these types of items. And here's another way you could see how they're not identical, because you could see the tail heights are different, but that also makes the picture look really cool because this one goes underneath that tail. Another thing I like about the pictures by shining the ring lights on them is that it creates this nice shine effect on them, which really helps to make that bronze pop. All right, so I was able to clean this up. I'm not sure how much better this looks to you compared to if you remember what this originally looked like, but it was really bad. I don't even remember now if I showed what the undercarriage looked like. I think I showed part of it when I showed the wheels and truck, but all the names and letters and stuff, I was able to get all that out pretty easily with the alcohol swab. The top looks way better, but it still has stains on it. The problem is that some of these stains are literally embedded into the plastic, so they're just impossible, at least in terms of how I know, to get them out. And I tried a lot of different, tricks and techniques, which made it look better overall, but still there are some stains on it. So this is the best thing I'm able to do with it. And, I might mention in the description section that this could be something that someone could use for a restoration project, because you could, paint over it and, turn it into, even a different color if you want. It's easy to take the wheels off and stuff and, and do that. So in the video, I had referred to it as a skateboard, which, technically is true, but it's a specific type known as a penny board. And that's why, when I show you my listing for this, you're going to see it's a penny board in it as well. It's one of these things where the reason why it's called a penny board is because these more slender, smaller boards were made by a brand called Penny. And then afterwards, all of the different types of boards that look like this were then referred to as penny boards. Kind of like how all tissues sometimes get referred to as a Kleenex, even though Kleenex is really the brand that makes a specific type of tissue. So just a little interesting fact to it I wanted to pass on. If you ever see these, just gives you a good keyword to be able to use for these. So hopefully someone's gonna like this, and I'm looking forward to getting it listed, and I'll show you what I price it for. All right, so check this out. Now you can see that this area is totally white. It took 2 coats to make that happen. Special thanks to Mrs. Primetime, who offered to do it when I brought it back here to Primetime Treasure headquarters. And now this allows for whoever buys this to put whatever they want there. They could put their name there if they want to, or they could put an additional saying if they want. Mrs. PT also went ahead and touched up a few areas that she said were dirty on the top and also on the bottom here. We were thinking about possibly doing something with the black outline and making it, more bold, but we figured just keep it the way that it is, because people, like, more that kind of natural vintage look to the item that you get when you just keep it how it originally aged. So that's what we did with that one, and I'll show you what I eventually list this one for. Okay, now in terms of the Weird Al record, I am not an expert in records, and no one could be an expert in everything. I think it's best if you could try to be an expert in one thing and then have enough knowledge in other areas to make you a little bit dangerous when you need to be. And that's how I feel I am with records. So one of the things with records, in order to do proper research on them, is to go to the website Discogs. It's such a great site. You just type in the name of your record and you could see so much information about it, all sorts of notes that users in the community put in about the record, you know, really interesting things to look for. Like, for example, with this record, there were some of these records that came out with a white UPC on the back and some that came out with a red UPC on the back. Now, I don't have any evidence that one is more rare than the other for this particular record, but, you know, for other records that can be the case, and there could be these subtle differences that could indicate that, you know, it's an earlier pressing. So, you know, there's little clues to look for, and Discogs helps with that. Discogs will tell you information about the year, the country where the record was made, the record label, and it will also have information on the catalog number. So when you type that in, for example, for the Weird Al record, you get a whole bunch of different information from what would quickly look like the same album cover, but you know, there are differences once you start getting into looking at the actual label. So in terms of this one, the clue that this is actually not a first pressing doesn't even come from the actual record itself. There's actually a way to really figure it out just by looking right here, and that's with this sticker right here where you see it says the nice price, and then you could see we still have the price tag on top, and it's a low price. It's $3.99. Even, you know, for back then, that was a good price. So this was something that Columbia Records did back in the day. They put these types of stickers on there, and you're going to see these on other records if you go out hunting for records. And what that tells you is that this was a later pressing that was, you know, put into you know, basically stores for a budget discount, and so it would not be one of the first pressings. Still, there's just not too many of these on the market, so I priced this for 60 bucks, and we'll see what happens with it. I think that this one, you know, should sell for somewhere between the $40 and $60 price range. So, you know, hopefully I could get 50 to 60. So we'll see what happens with this one. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that in my Star Wars video, I showed so many Star Wars sales in the original video, and then also in my prior video, I showed some follow-up sales to it. But in my original video, I forgot to mention when I was showing all the items that were listed that these two books were part of that lot. These were the only items that were not Star Wars related. These were Dungeons and Dragons books. I showed me sourcing them. I did want to follow up and let you know that these two books sold for $92.50. So very happy with that sale. In terms of some other highlight sales, I figured, you know, maybe this would be a good opportunity to show you some things that you've seen me source in some other videos, and you know what they sold for, and some of the stuff that I haven't shown in other videos. So let's take it away to some of the highlights. And here's what I listed some of the other items for that you saw in today's video. Well, hello there. Look who it is. Little Miss Daisy. What's going on? Why do you yawn as soon as I see you? You know, I heard from a comment in the last video that lawsuits from Daisy may be forthcoming, especially if we cannot come to terms, because she's still upset about not being shown in the video that I did showing how to make thousands of dollars more in eBay sales just by pressing that one little button. Daisy wanted to be in that one, especially since it was the most popular video of the year. What was that, Daisy? See something? So Daisy is now making me tell everybody that she does have her own merch store available where you could get Daisy t-shirts, Daisy pillows. Look at this. She won't even look at the camera right now. She's so mad at me still from that video. She is demanding more plush, so she does have her fair share of plush over here, as you can see, and she loves to run to her little bed of safety when she doesn't want anyone to, to bother her. She likes to run right over there, and as you can see, she's a big fan of cake. So there she is, guarding the treasures. And I kid, but I do love my Shih Tzu for sure. So Daisy, time to say goodbye to everybody. Look at this. Say goodbye to your fans. You might be mad at me, but your fans still love you. So thanks everyone. Let me know what your favorite item was today in the video that I got, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you back at the next one. If there's anything else you think that Daisy should negotiate into her contract, once she goes under arbitration, she has retained an attorney, by the way, let us know, and we'll work that into the negotiations. All right, everyone. We'll see you back at the next one. Take care.